Well, welcome back to another fun-filled day at the caravan. This is the morning of the day that our next video, part 10 I think, or part 10 is coming out, so we're going to premiere that tonight, so hopefully you'll join us for that, or hopefully you will have joined us for that, because obviously it will have gone out by now. We're back here just doing a few bits and pieces today. We're not planning on having a really long day here because both of us are a bit kind of under the weather, I think is the word, a bit tired. Jamie described it as project fatigue this morning, which I think might be coming into it a little bit, but we are so close now to getting it done. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what we did yesterday while we're here. So we have, as you can see, painted the top of the bed, the plywood here, with it's just some garden exterior paint, just in case we do something daft like drop a cup of tea or something, so that it's kind of the wood's protected a little bit. We also filled in, well, Jamie did, along the sides there. You'll have seen in the last video him crawling underneath the bed. That's what he was doing. Done a bit more painting. We've got to finish this off. This is just undercoat, but that is looking good under there now. We also gave the shelves another coat of paint. We've got a few touching up bits to do because I was messy with the paintbrush yesterday. But our plan for today, here's the main man. Plan for today is to do a few little finishing off bits. I've just written as a list of stuff that we're going to try and sort of work our way at. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's our little list. So first job we're going to try and do is put up the housing strips for the LED lights, which are going to go around the front of the caravan, which is a nice little sort of, feels like an almost a final job, which is nice. We're also going to obviously touch up the paintwork, bits and pieces like that. We're going to try our curtains, which my mum has been beavering away at making. It's so kind of her, and she's done a lovely job on them, so we're going to try those out. We've got the curtain tracks up, some of them, if you can see just here. So we're going to try those up, see what they're like, check the length of them, and also try hopefully and get the curtain tracks up top and bottom at the front of the caravan and make sure that's all working out. What else are we going to do? We also need to order some extra little bits for the window seal. You can see on some of them there's like a little gap, so I don't know whether they've shrunk a little bit because of what we used to clean them, or just being outside being kind of misshapen, I don't know, but we need to order some bits for that, so we've got to check that we're going to order the right bits by having a look at them while we're here. Yeah, just a few little bits like that really, nothing too interesting today, but we're going to try and get some little bits done. We've also bought some finishing strips to go along the edge of the shelves, so there's little bits and pieces like that can be done, and just kind of feel like we're heading back towards the final end in sight kind of jobs. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. We're probably not going to film loads of today because there's not really much point, but we will give you an update at the end of the day and see how we've got on. So yeah, see you later.
Stays messing around as usual.
What is that?
It's a light.
Right. How do I use this machine then?
So, check that goes into there. If not, we'll have to lift that up a wee bit. Hang on, Chid. Right, how's that? Does that fit under?
Yeah, look it.
Lovely. On the front panel, you've got stop and go buttons.
Yeah.
So
what's this maximum mini business?
You don't need to worry about that.
Go?
Yep.
Wearing full eye and ear protection, obviously. Not working. Not working, not working. No one's got it.
Have you turned the switch on in the caravan?
What switch?
This project should have only taken a week, but because we've got Stace working with us. Let's see. Yes. I can see the problem here. Can you plug me in, Stace? Sure, Jamie, I'll plug you in. I just won't turn the power on.
We've got a caravan to fix. None of this laughing about. Got to try and make him smile somehow with the grumpy comment today. Right, just what? Just do it now.
Yeah. Right, take your time.
Bit wobbly.
Slow down. concentration.
Well, it's a bit off on one end, but I don't think it'll matter. Well then, let's fit it. Hello again. Guess what? We've turned into those people. So, having not actually finished the caravan outside or inside for that matter, the sealing of the windows and etc, the important jobs, we thought today would be a wonderful time to install some horrendously tacky lights in the caravan, which I was not up for at all, to be honest, when we first thought of the idea, but actually now, well, they look alright actually, in fairness. And what's weird about it is that because they are perfectly straight, they make everything else in the caravan, which is perfectly wonky, look perfectly straight. So winner, really. They've got all sorts of jazzy things like flashing, which obviously is probably not going to be an option. What else have we got? We've got some sort of fading situation. Again, perfect really if you want that kind of thing. And they've got a jumping option. Again, I think it's just flashing, but more intensely flashing. Realistically, we're probably going to just stick with a basic kind of colour, which I can't seem to select. Oh, there we are, nice. So the idea is that when everything is on top of the shelves, they'll look quite nice, little backlit shelves and stuff. So we're quite happy with them, aren't we?
Yeah, they look nice. You definitely recommend the diffuser strip though, because otherwise you can see here, I haven't put the diffuser strip cover on yet.
I don't think you can see on the camera very easily. You can kind of see that these ones are a little bit more LED looking,
yeah.
and then the ones where we've put the strip on, they more merge together. But to be honest, on the camera, it sort of looks the same. If I just turn them off for a minute, you'll see what I mean though. So here you can see we've got like a plastic strip which sort of diffuses the light. It's like a frosted plastic, and then that's just the LEDs on their own. You can't really, you might be able to tell actually if I put the lights on. Oh, there we are, that's a bit better. And if I turn the brightness of the lights down a bit, there we are, you can sort of, you can't really see to be honest, but take that light away a minute, Jamie. You can kind of see where there's a difference there, kind of. You'll just have to believe us, I think, really. But yeah, getting there, aren't we? We actually haven't achieved anything on that list today that I showed you earlier on this morning, and it's like 3 hours later now, apart from putting these lights up. But we did also put that, you can't really see it again probably very well, but there's like a wooden finishing strip along there which makes it look nice and tidy. I'm just stood in front of it. Yeah, so we finished that off, and that's all we've done. But these things just take time, so we are not going to stress out about things taking a long time. We're just going to take as long as we need, really. So, you know.
When I said to Stace she's in charge of interior decoration, I didn't think this is what she meant.
This is your idea. You wait till you see the curtains. It's fine actually, it looks alright.
Okay, is it?
Yeah.
Middle of those two. There. Go on.
I was going to ask if this is where we're putting the 40-inch television.
40-inch, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
We may as well not bother with windows, really. We could just have the telly. Go on, what were you going to say? Something more insightful.
Sort of guessing where the battens are from looking at the old videos, and so far so good. We seem to be getting a good hold in this, but we forgot to actually put extra wood in this area for when we were rebuilding the framework to support the television, so I've just put a piece of ply on there, cut roughly to the angle, and we'll mount the television bracket on there.
I think originally we were thinking we would put the TV higher up, like up where the plugs are, but then we didn't want to change
the mind.
Yeah, we didn't want to foul the artwork, and also we realised that we wouldn't then be able to put the shelf all the way along, which would have been a bit silly. So we've changed our plans, but you know what? That's good.
For the first
Making it up as we go along.
It's only the first time we've changed plans.
Yeah, the rest of it's gone perfectly to plan A.
Right, let's get this telly bracket up. Gonna have a go at sorting out this section here where the split is. So the plan is to screw it down in the first instance, and then I've got a band of aluminium to go over there which I've just been cutting. So let's see how we get on. I'm not going to try and close it because I think what'll probably happen is we pull the front end in, it'll probably dislodge some of the timber work, or that's my fear anyway. So the idea is I'm just going to close it up, put a band of aluminium on top, loads of Sikaflex, and then the awning rail will go on top of that. So that's the plan for that one. Ideally, we should have probably, when all the front end was all in bits, we should have closed it up then. But you know what, we didn't, so we are where we are. Right, cool, let's get this screwed down, get this edge cleaned up, and then I'll get the aluminium cut to suit. Right, so the plan for this bit is, I don't know why I'm still wearing these safety specs. Plan is, get the mastic strip onto the awning rail. I've just cleaned it up and put some methylated spirits on it, cleaning the last remnants of grease off it. Leave the backing tape on over here so that we can handle it without it going everywhere. Offer it up to the side of the caravan over there and put pins through the awning rail, so we can hang it on little pins first before we screw it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then once it's all like correct and in the right place, then start putting the screws in. But for where I've put that new strip down the side, we'll have to pre-drill the holes.
Okay.
Are you with
Strip
me?
looks good.
Pardon?
Strip looks good.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit naff, but it'll do. You know?
Yeah, cool. Let's do it.
So next job, I'm going to get this onto here. If you could just support the awning rail for me whilst I do that, that'd be lovely, jubbly. I reckon this is the biggest failure point in caravans now.
The awning rail.
Well,
I think
mastic generally.
It's why ours leaked to begin with, wasn't it?
I reckon so, yeah. And I reckon the side that we Sikaflexed up, the awning side, although the water had already gotten in there, I think it then dried out because
Yeah,
there
it
was...
didn't leak anymore.
Didn't leak anymore.
Yeah.
But I reckon probably replacing the mastic on caravans every 5 years is probably the way forward, I would say.
They just go hard and that and brittle.
Hard, brittle, yeah, develops cracks.
Okay.
And every time you tow, the body of the caravan's moving.
Yeah.
And the sides are all flexing, so if the mastic's no longer flexible, then what happens is it just pulls off the side of the caravan, but it's hard to see. Right, so put a little cut in that one, because it's lifted right up.
Yeah, and you need to chop the other end too.
Yeah. Well, that didn't go quite as well as expected. The rail, as soon as it touched the caravan, stuck straight away, so if it even just contacted a small amount, it was really difficult then to adjust. In the end, what we've done is, rather than trying to match up with the original holes of the awning rail, we've just drilled new holes and offered the rail at where we think it should hit. My little thing for the front here hasn't quite worked as well as I thought, because the awning rail's actually come further back than I thought. But it should be fine. So yeah, never mind. Listen, it's the awning rail side on the off side, not the near side. So we don't use this side anyway. So it's really just a trim piece. But it's just annoying when the job doesn't quite go to plan. Anyway, it's done. Time for a cup of coffee because it's really cold out here. Well, it's done anyway, the rail's back on. I'll give you a little bit of a close-up view of it. I'm not as pleased with it as I thought. This is obviously the... running out of hands here, folks. You can see there's the mastic, and you can see the aluminium, and then it's the Sikaflex that squeezed through. So it'll have good contact. Gets a little tight down there somewhere, but you can just still see about the aluminium. So the rail is on top of the aluminium everywhere. But what I'll do tomorrow, I'm going to give the everything's a chance to settle down, and then I'm going to trim the mastic back tomorrow or next time. If I come up these steps a wee bit, I'll just get rid of that. Bear with me, folks, bear with me. I don't know what it looks like on top there, because I can't see, I'm not tall enough. There we are. But I think, looking at it, it's about a couple of mil too high. But as we said, whoops, just drop everything. As we said, it was a bit of a struggle to try and get it in. So I think what we'll probably do next, if we ever next time, I hope there's not going to be a next time, but if we had to do another one in the future, I'd probably be tempted to offer the awning railer support, but yeah, how a little job can turn out to be a right pain, but never mind. So I've got a few more outside jobs still to do here, and we've got the battery box to finish off down there. Since tightening everything up as well, that's now popped out, and I get my finger under there, so I'll have to clamp that down somehow. We've got the bottom awning rail skirt, I think you call them a skirt, don't you, at the bottom of the caravan, wheel arch, and a couple of little bits down there. And then I need to order some more of this, I think it's called the awning rail trim or something, I think it's called. It does help apparently stop the water getting into where the screws are. So yeah, inside's pretty much done. Stacey's just doing some final finishing off bits in there. Yeah, not far to go. And then everything that's left there, I mean, there's a bit more wiring to do in the front here, because I haven't finished in there yet. But everything else that's kind of left to do is just tidying up bits and pieces, really. So yeah, we're getting closer every day. But I think that's quite enough for today. It's about 4 o'clock. I want to nip to the builder's merchant really quickly to get a couple of extra bits of timber, because we need a long piece for the curtain track. So we're going to get another couple of scant lengths, and then use the table sort of trim them down to about 20 mil wide, top bottom for the curtain track. Yes, I think that's about it. So cool. Anyway, we've had a good day, and we'll be back tomorrow, no doubt. So see you then.
Morning! It's another cold day here at the caravan, but we're here anyway and getting close to the end of the project now, which is cool. It is Sunday today, Sunday the something of early January. And I'm inside, I've got the heater on, which is good, keeping nice and warm in here. And we're just getting to the finishing off bits really. So the last couple of days we've been working on getting the shelf strips and stuff finished off. We've also got the curtain tracks. Well, the curtain track's up at the top and the bottom one is going on today. This little batten had to be put up yesterday and we left it overnight for the glue to set. So curtain track's going up there today. The ones underneath for these windows are both up already. Lights are up, I think you saw those the other day. So they're up and working. Let's have a look, I'll put them on and show you. Probably seen them already. So yep, they're all done and sorted. I'm going to put some fairy lights up today because let's face it, you can never have too many fairy lights. And yeah, just do a couple of finishing off bits really. We've got a little bit of touching up of paintwork to do. You can see down the bottom here that we're going to just paint in a dark colour because it's going to get kind of scuffed and stuff with it being down near the floor. We've put a rail across the back of the bed there to stop the mattress coming off or sliding off the back when we lift the bed up, so that's that. We've got stuff like the props that are going to keep the bed flap up to do still, stuff like that. Outside, Jamie's just getting the battery box cover sorted. We put some more awning rails and trims and stuff on yesterday, so the outside's coming together as well. I think we're going to try and get the window seals finished off today as well. You can see, hopefully you can see, some of them have got like a little gap in. I think we said before it's where they've probably shrunk a little bit, where we've had them out and been cleaning them and bits and pieces, or maybe they were never pushed into the corners to begin with, so perhaps they never did fit properly. But we've got some spare a spare length we got from eBay. Pretty expensive, this stuff. It's like 14 quid for a metre. So hence why we decided to take the time to clean all the existing ones up rather than kind of buy new ones. Save ourselves quite a few pennies on that, so it was tough but it was worth it. So yeah, we're going to try and get those sealed up, the little gaps finished, and then these like floppy window stays can finally be put back up again, because they have been driving me a little bit mental because I keep banging my head on them. So yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there.
Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the... what does it say up there?
12th of January,
Tuesday, 12th
2020, 29.
Hey, we missed our 9th of January deadline.
Well, that's a blooming surprise.
Anyway, never mind. Today we're going to fit the window seals properly. I know they've been installed, but they've just been offered up. They haven't been refitted. We had a bit of a muck up the other day because we fitted that one over there wrongly, but we'll talk about that later on. So today we're going to fit this one correctly. What I've done is, because we're reusing the old window seals, you have to get them in the same position that they were previously, otherwise they don't curl in the same places they're meant to curl, and they wrinkle and all sorts. So we offered this one up so that it was all straight and there wasn't any kinks or bends or crinkles in the rubber. You can see roughly where the old fitting points were down here to give us a hand locating that, which was really handy. But what I've also done to help us when we refit them is just right in here, B rear, so that's the bottom corner of the window at the rear of the caravan, or facing the rear of the caravan. And I've also written top rear, front, top front, and top front bottom. Anyway, whatever, I know what I've written, but to make me sure I know what corners we're going to do. Just down here, there's a little mark on the wall which shows where the rubber splits. Okay, so I've got that down there as well, which should help us when we refit them. Also, I've taken the stays off this window, which is something we probably should have done about 3 weeks ago, because they're super annoying. But first job is, because we're going to seal this with mastic, we're going to clean up all the outside of the caravan with with methylated spirits to make sure it gets a really good adhesion. We're going to lay the mastic on top of here. It's 45mm mastic, so it should hang over the edge, which we can then fold over, which means the lip of the outside lip of the window rubber will fold over, hit the mastic, and everything will be sealed up beautifully, and then the caravan won't leak ever again. And
that is, am I right in thinking, one of the last outside jobs to do before we can
in theory, yeah, that's it, watertight.
That's cool. So we really are finishing off, aren't we?
We really are finishing off, yeah. It would help if we had a bit more motivation, but we've been a bit lazy over the last couple of days, so.
Yeah.
So let's try and get this one done, the 3 at the front, and then we'll see how much mastic we've got left on the roll, because we may be running short. If not, we'll have to order another roll to finish up. But let's see how we get on.
Let's do it.
All right. Scissors have been dipped in white spirit to help them cut through the mastic without sticking.
So what are you doing? Folding it over the edge?
Folding it over the edge, yeah.
bit of work out of this.
First one you've done.
Get it. Right, we are going to have to cut some, I think.
You reckon?
Well, yeah, because it's like proper overhanging.
For the record, Stacey is mocking my accent, which is not Geordie, although I am from the northeast originally.
That's the north, yeah. Northerners.
Right, stop being whatever. No, you can't. No, you can't. There's a Stanley blade behind you on top of there, or I can get a fresh blade out of the pack. Let's treat ourselves to a fresh Stanley blade.
You better just do it, guys.
No. No, you won't, darling. You won't mess it up. This is actually your sort of thing, believe it or not. I think.
But I put everything with scissors.
She does actually. Pizzas, sausages, everything really.
Window seals.
No, don't, because. Let me just find you.
I wish you could see Jamie's face right now. It's like a mixture of exacerbation, exasperation, panic, and hatred.
Right.
Maybe not hatred.
I can't find the blades.
Misery. I'll use this one, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or you can use it.
No.
Where should I cut it?
Well, where's the overlap? Although, hang on, I think the chap said on the website not to do it for 24 hours because it let it settle. So maybe
Should we put the panel pins in now?
No, I don't
You
know.
didn't read anything about 24 hours, that one.
Hold on.
24 hours? God. Never going to be
Oh no,
finished.
he did say. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just chop it then.
So cut it where you think it should be cut.
I'm going to chop it a bit bigger than that.
Right.
Just saw it through, yeah.
Saw it through, yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to do it?
No, darling. Just cut off less than what you think you should, and you can always take a little bit more off.
I think I've already not done that, but I think it'll be okay. What, isn't it being taught?
I'm worried.
Cry.
Hang on, look where your cut is now, and look where it sits.
Oh, yeah, look, it's perfect.
Okay.
Right.
Do you want the handle for the knife?
I want to do it.
Would you like the handle for the knife?
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I get you a screwdriver so we can tighten it up properly this time so the blade doesn't drop out? I know the knife handle's a little bit nappy.
You know how to treat me, don't you?
I do like to think I'm quite a decent husband.
There you are.
Hang on.
You are, on the whole. Not my favourite.
I love the fairy lights. I think they're the best part of the whole build. Wrong way.
How is it the wrong way?
Do you see the two little lugs that hold it?
Makes a change for you to be doing the inside jobs.
Isn't it? It's nice and warm in here. I can see why you're in.
Thanks. The level of perfection that I've achieved with this cut is something that few men would be able to behold.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. It's nice. I'll give you that one.
Well, thank you. I feel like I've achieved something. Now, it's a bit cockeyed like, but it'll be okay, won't it?
It'll be fine.
It's a bit
Bulging it there.
way.
We'll roller it down a bit.
Alright.
Why don't you can you actually roll the rolling pin rather than...
Yeah, but you can't get any traction.
Okay, no, don't worry about it.
Oh, you already pet now. Go on.
Right, I'm going to cut this footage off for the moment while Stacey finishes up. Okay, so we've got this window in and pinned. With what's left on this roll, we're going to try and do this little window here. What we are going to do though is, because the corners go slightly deeper up here than what they used to, I'm just packing it out with a couple of bits of scrap mastic from before. I've got a little bit left on this end roll. So just so when the seal gets pushed at the corner, it's actually supported by this mastic here rather than going past where the edges are. So we're just doing that now, and then we've ordered another roll of mastic, well they're the two rolls from Tracy and Bevans. She's got one roll in at 45mm, so I'm going to go nip down this afternoon and pick that up, and then the other roll should come in next week at some point. So with the next roll that we can do, we can get that middle window done and that side window. So it's just that window there that'll need doing, which is really good progress, I think. So let's get this small window done and we'll come back to you. Teaspoon's great for pressing down the edges of where it doesn't quite go down flush. So all I'm doing is I'm using a teaspoon just to press the edges flush, like so. And this is one of Stacey's suggestions. So well done, Stace. Thursday the 28th of January. But
Right, this is still January.
It's a momentous day.
Still 2021. It's going.
It's moving.
It's going. We're fed up with it.
Yeah, we bought an Airstream.
No, today is like move day. We are going to attempt to tow the caravan.
Well, not attempt, we'll succeed in that part.
Okay, well we are going to tow the caravan with the tractor around to the hard standing pitches on the campsite. We're not going to take it right back to our pitch at the moment because the field that we're in is like completely waterlogged, so it's just not really worth getting stuck or whatever. So we're going to tow it around onto the hard standing for a couple of days. We're due some rain, so we're going to check that it's leak proof, and which obviously it is. And also tomorrow Jamie's going to try and fit the lino on the floor, so in theory after that we are ready to actually move back in, and then we're just going to wait for 2 or 3 dry days so our field will dry out, put it back on pitch, and then we can get set up properly and finish off. There's a few little bits and pieces like putting J-rails on and a bit of wiring, stuff like that that we're going to do probably when we're back on pitch. But for now it looks like this is like a momentous day.
Right, let's go.
Have you not got anything to say?
No, not really. I think I've said enough these past few weeks.
Okay, well we'll I'm dying. Okay. So we're just in the process of getting ready to hitch up and move around, and we've now worked out that the caravan now defies physics, which is exciting. You know how much stuff we've put in the front of it, and all of you who've commented about the nose weight, well we thought, okay, we're being a little complacent because we've got the tractor that we can tow it with, but we thought we'd better just try it. So yeah.
I mean, I've been doing some working out recently, but that's quite light on the front end, which is somewhat surprising.
So I don't know how we've managed it, but it appears that rather than massively overloading the front end, we've actually kind of done the opposite, and it feels lighter than it was. I guess we've still got the mattress to put on.
Yeah, there's a lot of weight in wet wood though.
So anyway,
there's no way. I could not do that before, so that's like...
I don't know whether it's exciting or worrying, but either way, it is what it is, as Katie Musgraves would say. So yeah, we're not too worried anymore about that, so who knows really. We might have to just like have it at that angle on pitch, so yeah. This is why we're not going straight onto our field. So it's going to be here for a little bit while we test the weatherproofness and stuff. Part of it. There we have it, folks. The caravan is on a pitch. Not our pitch, but a pitch. Woo.
So I know we've pulled out today, but we should be getting a good little test of the water fastness tonight, because we've got a bit of showers going all through the night tonight, and then tomorrow we can come back and it's dry all day. Because there is a couple of little jobbies I wanted to do. I forgot to do them before pulling it out, in fairness, but you see the awning rail trim that's dangling down here. I want to run a bead of silicone along there just so I can remove that and put the bead of silicone in along there and some other places as well. Looking at it in the daylight, we've got a lot of cleaning up to do, because you can see like there's black marks in it from when we've had, you know, bits of sealant out and whatever else, and we've been using chemicals to clean the side of it. But overall I'm quite pleased, you know. It's you know, could have been a lot worse considering the level of renovation that we've done there. Okay, I know you could argue that the silicone, the Sikaflex is quite messy up there, but you know what, I think once it's cleaned up you won't really notice. Coming around this side you can see a bit more detail where the band went in under that rail, and again obviously I'm going to put Sikaflex silicone in here just to keep that nice and watertight. But overall I'm quite pleased. You can see here as well where we had to put some fiberglass matting on the windows because we got that cracked. It's all dirty down this side, so that all needs cleaning and polishing off. Bits of glue that's ran down the side here from when we were doing the inside. But overall, you know, it's good, you know. Nothing that can't be done. The back end is horrendous because the back end is super green, but we obviously haven't touched the back end. But yeah, overall, a lot of cleaning to do on the outside and getting looking ship shape. But I think it's good. I think I'm quite pleased. So yeah, there we are, folks. I'd largely say it's complete now, other than the sort of little tidying up bits. It's been a heck of a project, more than what we anticipated. But overall, I'm very pleased. So, right, let's finish the last few jobs for today anyway. Hello, it's Friday the 29th of January. The caravan last night spent its first full night outdoors. You can see there's wet running down the windows, there's wet outside. But inside here, folks, it's completely dry. Stacey did have one slight panic when she saw this water drip on here, but then we realised very quickly that was a paint mark and it's dry. So I think we're okay. So I'm here today. I'm going to put the lino down on the floor because that's all needing finishing off. Obviously it needs all brushing and clearing and vacuuming first. We've got the heating on at the moment and let's see how that goes. We could move into it pretty much in the next couple of days. That is the plan. We've got a couple of last minute jobs we just want to do for our comfort really before moving it. We're going to try and move in gradually, aren't we, so it's not like arriving with a car full of stuff. So we're going to kind of take the slow move approach. Yeah. But we're hoping to be definitely in by the 1st of Feb because that's only a few days away. But yeah, as you can see, folks, it's pretty much finished. So we're going to do one last video bringing everything together. We lost a load of footage, as some of you follow us on social media know already, so it might be a little bit disjointed, but you'll see last few bits of footage of us putting the last few bits together, and then once it's on pitch and back again, we will do another caravan tour because it's changed quite a bit. Right, let's get cracking. This is a happy moment. Exciting. It's too small. Actually, it's quite small. But I think it'll be fine with the duvets on. Oh, having a rest, are we? We're done. We've done it. How do you feel? Tired but happy. Project fatigue was definitely setting in over the last 2 weeks or so. Yeah, we've been waiting for bits and stuff, haven't we? So it's been a bit of a like... We've had a few misorders along the way, but we're in, folks. The caravan is more or less finished, isn't it? I mean, there's a couple of tiny little things that we're not going to film because it's just going to bore the brains out of everybody. There's a little bit of the 12-volt wiring I've got to extend into the front hatch and bits and pieces like that, but you know what? We're living in it, the electricity's on, and the 12-volt towing electrics aren't quite there. It doesn't really matter. We're not really going to be going far. We're not on our original pitch yet. I think we might have said that already because the field's just completely waterlogged. So we're going to stay here on just one of the sort of hard standing pitches on site for 2 or 3 weeks. The site's not due to open for at least a month, if not more, depending on the COVID situation. So we're just going to stay on the hard standing here for now.
yeah, because it doesn't really matter, the site's not open, but we'll get back on our pitch when we can, and then when we are back on our pitch we'll do another little caravan tour video so you can see all the changes that we've made and how it is all together. So
yeah, look forward to that one. I don't think there'll be any more videos in this series other than possibly one more where we're going to talk about how much it cost us to do this and some tips and tools that are quite useful to have. So expect a tips, tools and costs video, and then the caravan tour video, and then hopefully the season will start and we'll have some footage in the sunshine.
Yep, it'll be more warden stuff and general caravan day-to-day stuff probably, won't it, in the summer. So yeah, thanks ever so much for being with us through this project. It's I know we started out all kind of guns blazing with the videos every few days or whatever, and then kind of tailed off, but that's just kind of how the project's gone. It's been a long time coming, but having the comments and kind of cheering us on and bits and pieces has really helped. So obviously if you're on our Facebook page as well, we've got a McNeill's on Wheels Facebook page, then you've seen little updates. So if you're not on there, make sure you follow us on there too, because you can see kind of everyday bits and pieces going on. But yeah, it's meant a lot to us to have your support as
huge
we've gone along. So yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for bearing with us, because I know it's not always been the most interesting and we haven't always been like completely on it with the videos, but yeah, it's been good. Actually quite enjoyed the project in a weird kind of a way.
Yeah, it's given us something to do during the lockdown anyway, definitely.
And it's nice to know we've achieved more than what we set out to achieve, because when we very first set out on this we weren't planning to have the fixed bed. That was something that developed as we kind of saw what room we had available, so that's been one like massive thing that was going to massively change our kind of day-to-day living and stuff. So, and that's worked really well. So yeah, no, it's nice, and hopefully the colours aren't too psychedelic, but
right, well, we're going to leave it there because you've seen enough from us over the past few weeks, but just want to say a huge thank you once again, and cheers to happy caravanning.